Now, Combs did not do this all on his own. As I mentioned, Combs has been charged with RICO conspiracy. He used his business and employees of that business and other close associates to get his way.
If Trump wins, that F6 client list is going to become public.
Yes.
And some of those billionaires behind Kamala are terrified of that outcome.
Yeah. Do you think Reid Hoffman's uncomfortable?
Yes.
Definitely everybody and did this and everyone. And then we're like, well, how do you know? He's like, I read. Not really, doesn't really mean anything.
Oh gosh, y'all won't believe the tea that Joe Rogan and Elon Musk just spilled. They're exposing everything about how Hollywood's biggest names are mysteriously vanishing into thin air. From secret hideaways to hush-hush escapes, they're not holding anything back about these celebs going completely off the grid. Trust me, you're going to want to sit down for this because the names they dropped, absolutely shocking. Let's dive into the first bombshell. Ellen DeGeneres, Diddy's longtime bestie, has literally gone MIA since this whole Diddy drama exploded. And honey, when I tell you she's transformed herself, I mean transformed. Get this, new photos are spreading like wildfire showing Ellen in some tiny English pub looking completely different with a whole new hair color. While she's trying to sell us this story about leaving because of Trump and America's current situation, word on the street is there's a much darker reason. People are whispering that it's all about her deep connections to Diddy and all those skeletons in her closet she's desperate to hide, especially since Trump's been promising to lock up all these so-called deviants.
It's just very strange for a lot of people that the list of clients that went to the island has not been made public.
Yeah, it's very interesting, isn't it? Probably will be, by the way. Probably.
So if you're able to, you'll be...
Look, in some shocking and sad news for the 74 million Americans who voted for Donald Trump, former talk show host Ellen DeGeneres and wife Portia de Rossi have fled the US and moved to the UK in the wake of the result, telling friends that the election of Donald Trump was their primary motivation, that they've settled into Cotswolds, a rural town in south central England.
Let me tell you, the relationship between Ellen and Diddy goes way deeper than anyone realized. Now that Diddy's empire is crumbling like a house of cards, everyone's looking back at all those times he appeared on her show. Remember how she'd just sit there laughing and giggling while Diddy talked about his wild parties? Looking back now, it's like she knew exactly what was really going down behind those closed doors.
Ellen, were you surprised by the allegations about P. Diddy? Did that surprise you about P. Diddy? He's been on your show many times. Have you been to his parties?
But wait, there's more tea to spill. Ellen's got her own dirty laundry to deal with. People are digging up all these old clips showing her true colors, being absolutely horrible to her guests, making them squirm in their seats. Remember that iconic moment when Dakota Johnson called her out for lying about that birthday party invitation? Chile, that was just scratching the surface. Former employees are coming out of the woodwork, calling her the meanest woman in Hollywood. So much for that be kind motto she loved to preach about.
Happy belated birthday. When was your birthday?
It was October 4th.
October 4th. You turned 30.
I did.
And how was the party? I wasn't invited.
Actually, no, that's not the truth, Ellen. You were invited. Last time I was on the show, last year, you gave me a bunch of about not inviting you, but I didn't even know you wanted to be invited.
Now this is where things get really juicy. Back in 2016, Ellen posted this super weird birthday message to Diddy, listing all his names, you know, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Sean Combs. But here's where it gets creepy. She added these bizarre nicknames like Cuddle MC Snuggle Stuff, and then wrote, "You don't need to know why." At the time, everyone was scratching their heads, but now people are connecting some seriously disturbing dots to all these allegations about Diddy. And hold on to your seats because there's even more dark stuff coming to light. There are whispers going around about Ellen's romantic history that'll make your skin crawl. Get this, both of her late girlfriends passed away under some pretty suspicious circumstances. People aren't buying the bad luck story anymore. The word on the street is that she might have been trying to silence them because they knew too much about her shady Hollywood dealings. And guess who allegedly helped her cover it all up? You guessed it, Diddy himself.
Your feet are gonna have blisters. You're gonna be dancing so hard.
I can't wait.
But wait, this rabbit hole goes even deeper. People are now pointing fingers at Ellen over something absolutely heartbreaking. The tragic death of Stephen Twitch Boss, her former DJ and supposed close friend. While the official story says he took his own life, there's this wild conspiracy theory floating around that he was being blackmailed. Apparently, Twitch stumbled upon some seriously disturbing footage, and some people are saying it might be connected invited to one of Diddy's infamous parties. The speculation is that poor Twitch became a target because he knew too much. And now, with Diddy supposedly singing like a canary to the feds, Ellen's name could come up, exposing her alleged role in this whole mess. No wonder she hightailed it to England so fast. We're talking possible arrest. And honey, even Elon Musk is stirring the pot. When someone tweeted about Ellen fleeing the country, he dropped this super cryptic emoji response. And let's be real, Elon doesn't just throw around one-word replies for nothing. He's clearly hinting at something major, and social media is absolutely living for it. But hold on to your wigs, because this tea is about to get even hotter. Word on Twitter is that Oprah Winfrey might be tangled up in Diddy's web of secrets. Can you believe it? Sources are saying the feds have actually called her in, connecting her to Diddy's notorious off parties. Instead of facing the music, rumor has it Oprah has literally fled the country. While she's trying to play it off as avoiding Trump's re-election drama, people are saying she's really running from getting caught up in Diddy's investigation.
Welcome. I bless you in removing your child from the big school, because my #1 priority is the safety and well-being.
Now, you're probably wondering how someone like Oprah, the Oprah, got mixed up in all this mess. For years, there have been whispers about her attending Diddy's wild parties, but that's not even the tip of the iceberg. Let's talk about her connection to Harvey Weinstein. You know those pictures that just resurfaced showing Oprah cozying up to him? They're raising some serious questions about exactly how much she knew about his behavior.
To some breaking news now. New York's highest court this morning overturning Harvey Weinstein's 2020 conviction. The court finding the judge at the landmark trial prejudiced the ex-movie mogul with improper rulings, including a decision to let women testify about allegations.
The tea gets even hotter because apparently everyone in Hollywood knew what Weinstein was doing behind closed doors. Yet there was Oprah still promoting his projects and standing by his side until he finally went down. Critics are saying her silence speaks volumes, especially since she had this massive platform that could have helped his survivors come forward so much sooner.
No matter what business you work in, there have been women who not only had the disease to please, that's a part of it, but who felt that in order to keep my job, in order to keep my position, in order to keep moving forward, I've got to smile, I've got to look the other way, I got to pretend he didn't say that, I got to pretend.
But Chili, let me tell you about another skeleton in Oprah's closet. Remember that Brazilian spiritual healer, John of God? Oprah was out here calling him a miracle worker, but that praise aged like milk left out in the sun. Years later, this so-called holy man was exposed as involved in, if you catch my drift.
Yes, let's talk about John of God, João de Deus in Brazil, and Oprah. And I'm just gonna say Oprah has introduced a lot of cult leaders to America, like Keith Raniere, like John of God, and like many others.
This endorsement didn't just put a dent in her reputation. It had people seriously side-eyeing how much she might have known about his crimes.
Todos nós somos médium.
Everybody is a medium
Pratica o bem.
who practices good. And we are all children of God. And each person has their mission.
And just when you think it couldn't get any worse, let's spill the tea about Oprah's $40 million girls' school in South Africa. This was supposed to be her crowning achievement, her legacy, a safe haven for young women who needed it most. But just months after opening those doors, the unthinkable happened. Allegations of assault started coming out.
Oprah Winfrey has had a lot of controversy around her African school for girls, with huge conspiracy theories starting that these girls were going missing from Oprah's school. All of these theories started shortly after Oprah opened her school in 2007.
The school's matron, Virginia Magobo, ended up facing 14 charges of sexual misconduct against 6 girls. Oprah had to fly all the way to South Africa to handle this mess herself, firing everyone involved. She called it one of the most devastating experiences of her life. But some people are wondering if there's more to the story.
Forbes magazine estimates Oprah Winfrey has given a whopping $400 million to education. And one of the causes closest to her heart is celebrating a milestone.
This is a huge one for her. In an exclusive interview with ABC's Juju Chang, Oprah talks about the emotional and sometimes very difficult journey.
And just when you thought the drama was over, Joe Rogan and Elon Musk dropped another bombshell. Leonardo DiCaprio has suddenly fled to Italy. And trust me, the timing couldn't be more suspicious, right when Diddy's life is falling apart. While Leo's team is trying to spin this as just another vacation with his latest young girlfriend, people aren't buying it. This looks way more like running for cover than running to catch some sun.
And I'm sure that's probably not public information yet, but who's the person that's #1 on that invitation list?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
And I can get on that list,
Yes,
right?
without a doubt, you are invited.
That is so generous of you. Cheers to that.
See you at the White Park.
Let me take you back to the 90s, honey, because Leo and Diddy's friendship goes deeper than the Titanic. These two were absolutely inseparable, hitting up every major event together. But those white parties, that's where things get really interesting. Leo wasn't just another face in the crowd. He was Diddy's #1 invite, the crown jewel of these legendary gatherings. Now all these old photos and videos are resurfacing, showing Leo right in the thick of things. His team is working overtime trying to distance him, claiming he hasn't spoken to Diddy in years, but come on. The timing of this Italian vacation is about as subtle as a peacock at a pigeon party. And let's talk about the elephant in the room, Leo's notorious dating habits. Here's a man pushing 50 who hasn't dated anyone over 25 in what feels like forever. With Diddy potentially facing serious charges and possibly looking to cut deals, Leo's name could very well come up. Diddy's trial is set for May 2025, and Hollywood insiders are already bracing for the fallout. This isn't Leo's first rodeo with scandal either. Remember that whole 1MDB mess? Leo got tangled up with Malaysian financier Joe Low, who allegedly embezzled billions. He had to give back some pretty fancy presents, including a Picasso and Marlon Brando's Oscar, to distance himself from the controversy. Now it looks like he's using the same playbook to escape the Diddy drama, but hold on to your seats because there's another big name trying to make a quiet exit, Ashton Kutcher. Word on the street is that Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis plan to move to Europe, supposedly for greener pastures, but we all know it's to escape this growing storm. Now you might be thinking, wow, what does Ashton have to do with any of this? Yeah, well, let me tell you, his connection to Diddy runs deeper than your favorite conspiracy theory. These two go way back to the early 2000s when they first clicked through their MTV connections. But it wasn't just work. They were running marathons together in 2003 and living it up at all those infamous white parties Diddy threw. Now that Diddy's behind bars and the feds are digging through everyone's dirty laundry, Ashton's sudden urge to leave Hollywood is looking mighty suspicious.
He was so upset over the fact that he got skunked on this run. That year he decided to run the New York Marathon. And so he just started immediately training.
Social media is having a field day with old clips of Ashton, especially this one from his 2019 Hot Ones interview. The way he nervously laughed and dodged questions about Diddy's parties, saying there was a lot he couldn't tell, it's giving major red flags.
Our relationship was really bizarre. So it started over punked because he was like, yo,
don't punk
you
me.
can't punk me. And I was like, I don't know what to tell you. Everybody's on the table. He's like, not me, I'm off the table.
And as if that wasn't enough drama, Ashton was already under fire this year for the letters he and Mila Kunis wrote defending their former That 70s Show co-star Danny Masterson, who was convicted of serious crimes. The backlash was so intense that Ashton had to step down from Thorn, his own anti-child abuse organization. Now with all these Diddy connections coming to light, people are starting to wonder if this European move is really just an escape plan.
Diddy party stories, they're our favorite genre of anecdote, if you have one, yeah.
Wow, okay, I've got a lot I can't tell. So, can't tell that one either.
And because the internet never sleeps, rumors are flying that Ashton and Mila's marriage is cracking under the pressure of all this Diddy drama. Their reps are calling these rumors ridiculous and false. But their decision to go underground and supposedly leave Hollywood has everyone's eyebrows raised to the ceiling. As Diddy's trial gets closer and the feds keep connecting those dots, Ashton might not be the last name to get dragged into this mess. Whether he's staying quiet to save himself or just waiting for the storm to pass, social media isn't letting up. The internet is absolutely savage when it comes to these celebrities trying to dodge the heat. One user didn't hold back, saying, "They're not moving, Ellen is running. Americans don't want you here, Ellen. Take Oprah, Meghan, and Harry with you. We're done with evil." Another comment about Oprah was equally fierce. Oprah is neck deep in all of this, from Weinstein to Diddy. Come on. The streets are talking and nobody's letting these celebrities off easy. Drop your thoughts below and let's keep this conversation going. Don't forget to smash that like button and hit subscribe for more piping hot tea straight from the streets. This tea has been scalding, and trust me, we're just getting started. Keep your notifications on because this story is far from over.